Yo, what's good with y'all boys? It's your boy Zay. We back with another video. And yes, we finna react to my boy Yahki Awaken. I really used to be real big on watching my nigga Yahki Awaken, bruh. I'm gonna be honest, bruh. I ain't been watching my nigga recently. Cause it feel like, you know what I'm saying, I already know what the fuck going on, you know what I'm saying? And then it do feel like something changed. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it do feel like something changed in my nigga. Before he used to be totally different, bro. For real skis. But yeah, let's see what my nigga talking about now. I ain't watched my nigga in a minute, man. But we do gotta salute to all the people that's giving out information, man.
Peace.
And no bap, I am doing this while I'm eating a goddamn burrito. So that is kind of tough. I do plan on going plant-based eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Peace, love, light, healing, peace, love, light, healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I want to welcome y'all to Food
That's tough.
who y'all know is Yahki Awaken, where we discuss all things foods. We talk about the anatomy of the food, we talk about the nutritional value of the food, we get very deep down into the biochemical molecular structure, biochemistry, biology, anything you can think about when it comes to food and how it interacts with your actual body, we discuss here. So after we talk about the science, I teach you how to cook the food that we talk about. Today I'm going to show you how to make quinoa. Perfect quinoa. Quinoa that's fluffy, quinoa that tastes good, have the right amount of seasoning to it, and I'm going to reveal my secret sauce to y'all. Quinoa is one of my favorite fruits. Yes, I did say fruits. Everybody think that it's a grain. It is not a grain. It doesn't even come from a seed grass, or what you'll call a grass of a seed. It actually is a fruit. It's a part of what you will call the Akin family. The Akin family is basically a one-seeded fruit. So if you look at that, and it doesn't split during its mature phase. So if you look at any other seed that's a part of a fruit, usually when it matures, it splits in half. But when it comes to a key,
My boy do look different. A lot different from what he used to look from the last time I seen him, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not on no hating shit, but you know what I'm saying? It was a point in time where I was where like where I was really damn, how do I put this? Like nigga, I actually needed help, you know what I'm saying? I really needed help. And I went to bruh, and you know what I'm saying? I swear I used to literally go all the way down to his oldest videos, watch every single hourly video, bro. I swear to God, bro. All the Rumble videos, bro. Everything, bro. Like nigga, I used to be driving on the highway with my girl, listening to his videos and shit, bro. Swear to God. But yeah, really, really, it's just good seeing black people. You know what I'm saying?
group fruit like quinoa, it doesn't split at all. And that's why it's a part of the king fruit family. Not only that, when you look at it, it has something called pericarp. And pericarp is basically a thin layer of fruit tissue that covers up this small seed. So if you actually look it up and do your research, quinoa is not a grain at all. It is actually a fruit that's been used like a grain for over 7,000 years. Did you know that quinoa was part of the Emirates family? And guess what else is a part of the Emirates family? Swiss chard is a part of the Emirates family. Beets are a part of the Emirates family as well, and many more groups. So if you think about it, this seed that's a part of this fruit that grows these flowers, that grow these abundance of other foods that you eat, are all botanical cousins. So whenever you think about quinoa, always think about beets, always think about Swiss chards and things like that. When you look at the physiology and the plant anatomy of this fruit that we call quinoa, quinoa have a hull over it, and this hull over the quinoa is called a pericarp. And the pericorp again is this thin layer of fruit wall, and that's what makes it an actual fruit.
Mm. Now, right now, I'm just observing. Yeah, I already know. I already know. I need to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Pericorp. The pericorp have something called anti-nutrient compounds in it called saponins. Many people look at these saponins like they're bad for human consumption, but when you change your perspective on what these saponins does to the human body, which initiates what you will call a detoxification response, we then will be able to look at these saponins and look at them like they're a benefit to humans. Saponins is basically an anti-nutrient, or what you will call a natural pesticide to pests or small pests that try to actually eat the quinoa when it's growing in the field. And these natural pesticides cause an upset stomach and things like that to the pests to kill them off, to keep them from eating this quinoa fruit that grows like a grain. In order to get a lot of the saponins out of it, where you can eat it and not taste that bitter taste that it gives off, because that pungent bitter taste comes from the saponin, we show you how to wash the quinoa. That way we can keep some of the saponins, but we don't have to have these big buildup of saponins, for we won't get an upset stomach or get bloatiness or get gas from when we eat the quinoa. So that's the pericorp. The pericorp is literally the fruit thin layer of it that holds the saponins. Up under the pericorp, you then have something called the seed coat. The seed coat is
Hey, yeah, I know. I do know. Boy,
another protective layer that actually
boy.
protects the embryo. The seed coat have its own protective layer, and the seed coat is literally called the testa perisperm. It's called testa perisperm. It's another protective layer, and this is what gives life to the actual embryo. And the embryo, you can literally see the embryo that's connected to the ovary of the fruit when you cook the quinoa. It's a ring that comes around when you fluff the quinoa. The quinoa builds up this little ring around each seed. That is actually the plant embryo. It sounds crazy because we're eating ovaries, we're eating embryos, and we're eating sperm of a plant. But that's where all the nutrition is. Think about it. In order to give life to something, in order to spring forth another living entity.
Right now, right now, my nigga, I'm eating the goddamn fajita, sweet potatoes chopped up, and I think it's turkey beef. So that's probably like the only bad thing about it. Turkey beef and what else? And I got some buffalo sauce and and pizza sauce.
You need as many vital nutrients, you need as much oxygen, carbon, hydrogen that you need. So why wouldn't it be in a better place like the sexual organs of a plant? And if you look at the technical definition of a fruit, it is the reproductive part of biology. That's a fruit, the reproductive part of the plant. And if you look at quinoa, this beautiful fruit seed, that is exactly what we're eating. And this is what you would actually call the perisperm. And the perisperm is where all of the carbohydrates storage at, is where all the amino acid structures at, or what they call proteins, where all of the minerals at. Let's dive deep into it. To me, quinoa have a very interesting origin. When you look at quinoa, again, quinoa come from the Amarantaceae family, or what you would call the Chenopodium quinoa family. Its origins trace back over 7,000 years ago, where these ancient native indigenous people used the quinoa for sacrificial ceremonies. They used it for what you would call fertility, ritual, festivals, and they actually used it as their main meal preparation. It was used for money exchange. It was used for, quinoa back in those regions, Indian region of South America, Chile, Bolivia, and Peru. They actually use it as an exchange of money as well. So when you look at the actual origins and what it was used for, it's been used for a long time. Quinoa also is very, very nutritional. It is an actual superfood. So not only did they use it for exchange of economic gain, they used it for their spiritual and religious purposes, but they also used it for its super nutrient dense content that's inside of it. It just got popular here in the Americas, I say about 10 years ago. My personal reason to believe why it's so popular now, this is my personal opinion, is because the late great Dr. Sebi, he really brought it to the forefront of Black America. And I want to give a moment of silence to
Damn.
Dr. Sebi.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do what
Damn, that's crazy.
So now you see it worldwide and everybody's cooking with it. It's a part of an alkaline trend. And the reason why is because it is not that mucus forming to the body, and it brings on an alkaline effect if you eat it and if you prepare it and cook it right. Alright, so before we get into make the Dr. Yakai's quinoa savory citric maple syrup bowl, because what it is, I just gave y'all my secret ingredient, which is a tad bit of maple syrup that I add at the end. You're going to need actual 2 cups of quinoa. Not only that, you're going to need some oregano. You're going to need black cracked pepper. You're going to need smoked paprika.
Damn.
You're going to need sesame garlic crunch. You're going to need onion powder, garlic powder, applewood smoked sea salt. If you don't have applewood roasted, just get regular sea salt. And of course, parsley leaf, coconut amines, and your homemade vegetable broth. We can't forget about the citrus part, which is the grapefruit. And we're gonna do a grapefruit zest, and that's the reason why we have a grater. All right, make sure you have your measuring cups because we're using 2 cups of quinoa, and make sure you have a strainer because we have to strain the quinoa once we're done soaking it, and then of course your olive oil, where you can actually put a layer over the pan when you start putting your onions and your garlic on there. You're gonna need 1 onion and 5 cloves of garlic. I'm using 10 cloves, but you know, for people that have a tolerance for garlic, start off with 5. Now remember I was talking about the anti-nutrient compound that was inside of quinoa called saponins. Now I'm going to show you how to rinse your quinoa before you begin to cook it to get most of the saponins out. Now I'm not trying to get all the saponins out of it because this
You do it
anti-nutrient
different when you don't know,
very,
but at
very
the same time you do
to
know.
your biological structure
You do
because
it
it will
different.
initiate what you would call a detoxification response. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cup of quinoa, which I'm going to cook 2 cups of quinoa. You can start off with 1 if you want, but I'm going to put 2
yeah,
cups.
I ain't gonna back. This was the reason why I stopped watching a lot of people, bruh. Cause it's like, okay, why should I give a fuck? But at the same time, he is speaking facts.
So quinoa into this glass bowl. Once I put the 2 cups of quinoa into the glass bowl, I'm going to rinse it. Now it's best to really get the saponins off when you're rinsing it. You're going to run your fingers and palms through it, and you're just going to run through it with some warm water. So let me turn on my warm water. And as you can see, you will see the water start changing color. This is actually that compound called betalain going into the water. So we're just gonna let this sit for 10 minutes. While they're sitting for 10 minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up our onions and we're gonna chop up our garlic. Now that my quinoa is soaking, I'm gonna let it soak for about 10 minutes to get all of that saponin out of it, even though I don't want all the saponins gone because I still want to basically benefit from its anti-nutrient properties, or what I'm going to call detoxification properties. I pulled me out about 10 cloves of garlic. Now you can use 5, I like 10, I've been eating garlic for a long time. I understand that garlic have a compound in it that makes it very pungent, and this pungent compound is called allicin. Allicin comes from when the garlic get broken up. Whenever you cut into a garlic, it releases something called allinase. This enzyme then react to something called allin, and then allin turn into allicin. Allicin is the parasitic property, anti-cancerous property.
Bruh, shout out to Kai, bro. I was watching that shit. I was like, damn, bro, this nigga finna make a whole new language, bro.
Anti-bloating, anti-microbe, it resets the gut, it does a lot of things to the body, and it actually thins out the mucosal membrane, it gets rid of ammonia. I mean, anything that you're talking about with the body, garlic is an immune initiator as well. So we're gonna cut up our garlic. I'm using 10 cloves. You can use 5 to start off with.
That's actually comp as hell, bro. Like,
so
bro,
now that I'm cutting up
that's
the garlic,
fucking
I'm
comp.
actually initiating or activating the compound called allinase. The water that's coming out of the garlic is mixing and turning into something called allin. After I let it sit for about 5 minutes, a compound is going to be created called allicin. Allicin is where all the healing properties of garlic come from. I don't like my garlic in very little pieces. I like it in big chunks. So I just chop it up this size so I can really taste that pungent taste inside the garlic. Once you get done chopping up your garlic, you're going to move it to the side. Then we're going to work on our onion. Don't
Dead
laugh at the way I
homies.
cut my onion. Now, the beautiful thing about an onion is in the same allium genus family as garlic. But the thing about onion is onion have a polyphenol inside of it, and this polyphenol is called quercetin. And quercetin is one of the most antioxidative type of polyphenols that you can come in contact with. It's very good for inflammation. It's good for gut. It's high sulfurous, or what you'll call organosulfuric content. It binds to metals and it chelates metals out of the body. It binds to a bunch of different other, what you'll call metabolic products in the body, and it literally gets them out of the body. So if you look into, kick on glutathione, methylthionine, or any type of these, make sure that you go after your sulfur-rich foods. And the allium genus family is probably the most sulfur-rich foods that I know, and that's going to be again your shallots, it's going to be your garlic, and it's going to be your onion. So I'm just peeling the skin off the onion. Once I get the skin off, I'm going to start chopping this up, and we're going to use one whole onion. Make sure all the food that you're using is organic. I understand a lot of people isn't fortunate enough to buy organic all the time, but still I have to promote it. Eat organic, please, family, if you can. Alright, so I got my onion peeled.
I'm grateful for many things, and talk-based therapy is one of them. Because Adam and I...
We're going to start cutting it up. And the same as with the garlic is with the onion. You don't start releasing all of the organosulfuric compounds until you actually damage the plant tissues, which is what I'm doing right now. So after you're done chopping up your onions and chopping up your garlic, you're going to go and you're going to strain your actual quinoa. While you're straining the quinoa and you get it on a pot of water to bring it to a boil, what we're going to do is we're going to work on pan-searing our garlic and our onions and mixing all of our herbs and spices to get that aromatic type of properties that come from it. So since I soaked the quinoa for about 10 to 15 minutes, we're only going to add 1.5 cups of vegetable broth or water to it. Usually it's supposed to be 2 cups to each cup of quinoa, but since we soaked it, it got a bunch of water already in it. So we only going to add 1.5 cups of water, or what I'm doing in this instance is vegetable broth. So my quinoa has been rinsed. It's full of water already. Now we finna get it prepared. So I'm gonna sit this in the sink, and while I sit this in the sink, I'm gonna start working on the onions, working on the garlic, and adding all of my herbs and spices to it. So now it's time to start putting the onions and putting the garlic in to get that aromatic, savory smell out. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of olive oil, organic extra virgin olive oil. I'm just gonna put it on the skillet. We're not bringing it to a frying point or nothing like that. We're just warming up the oil. Olive oil is so good for the body. It's one of the most nutritional, one of the most potent oils that I know to mankind. Alright, now it's time to add the onions. And I'm gonna mix the onions with my garlic. I love onions and garlic, so I'm trying to get as much in there as possible. We're gonna let it cook for just a little minute, and then we're gonna stir it around. And we're gonna do stirring for about 7 minutes.
Yeah, I do get it.
Because we want all those carbons to come out. And we want all the nutrition of the allanase and the allicin and the allicin to come out as well. And the quercetin. And the only way you can get those out is by damaging the plant tissues of the garlic and of the onion, heating it.
Hey, I know for a fact it's a lot of niggas looking up to this nigga, man. Like, for real.
If you don't know how to make
and he's still being himself regardless. You know what I'm saying? Do his
vegetable broth. And remember, we had 2 cups of quinoa. So since I already soaked the quinoa already got water in it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1/2 cup to each cup of quinoa to the pot. That's 3 cups. We're going to add 3 cups of vegetable broth to a pot. We're going to add our quinoa, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. When it comes to a boil, then we're going to add our onions and garlic and begin to season.
I know they probably be spamming the fuck out, guys.
Well, there's 1 cup. That's 1/2 cup. 1 cup.
I swear, I be thinking it's only me.
That's 1/2 cup.
I know just a lot of
Then it's
niggas
for
getting
2
spammed.
cups of quinoa. The benefit of not just using water, but using vegetable broth, whether you buy it from the store or whether you make it your own, you're getting all of those minerals, all of those deep, dark, leafy green vegetables that you actually putting in that pot, and you soaking it and you simmering it for long periods of times. You're getting all of that broth, all of the minerals, all of the nutrition, all the nutrients, all the amino acids, are literally coming up out of that plant tissue and coming from out of that cellulose and going inside of the actual juice, or what I would say broth. It makes your food way more nutritious. If you want to book a consultation at my health facility, if you want to come see me at my health and wellness clinic, make sure you visit www.yakihealthclinic.com, www.yakihealthclinic.com, or simply just go on Google, type in Yahki Clinic, it'll pop up and you can book straight through Google. Another thing, if you want healing modalities, if you're looking to detoxify your body, we sell some of the most powerful herbs in the world. Go to www.yahkiawaken.com. That's YAHKIAWAKENED. For those that want to come to my workshops, y'all want to come see my lectures, y'all want to come sit down with me and get trained and taught and certified hands-on, go to YahkiEvents.com. Our next herbal workshop, our next class.
Bro, I was trying to do that for the longest, bro. When I had my car, nigga, I was ready to drive straight to that motherfucker. I don't even think you had a what's the name when I had my car, bro? You had it afterwards or something. But yeah. Damn, bro. I was trying to get there fast as hell. No bad. The whole time I could have did that shit on my own. Fuck.
Asking about 3 to 4 more weeks, so make sure y'all tune in. And if you haven't, download the Yahki TV app. You're gonna go on your phone, whether you're on an Android or whether you're on an iPhone, and you're gonna look and you're gonna type in Yahki. Yahki Radio will pop up, but it is way more than a radio podcast app. Yahki TV is on there. Yahki Radio, Yahki Apparel, Yahki website, everything that's this whole entire network
Yahki
is on
TV.
this site, y'all. So just go to Android.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it on camera, man. Turn down my motherfucking brightness, man. See if this motherfucker on there, man. Yeah. TV. Oh yeah. 5 stars. Yes, Sirski.
Store, go to your Apple store, type in Yahki Radio, it'll pop up, download that app and utilize it, y'all. Now it's time to start adding, not to the actual
Y'all go give my nigga 5
but
stars,
to the
man.
actual onions. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon of cracked pepper. I'm gonna
Make
do a
sure y'all
teaspoon
sub up to my
of
shit,
parsley leaf.
man.
Parsley leaf is
Yeah,
amazing for the
yeah.
kidneys, y'all. It opens up the kidneys, it helps filtrate the nephrons out of the kidneys, and it helps you deal with the balance of salt and potassium and water ratio of the kidneys. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of applewood roasted sea salt. Sea salt is good for blood pressure. Sea salt is good for mineralization. Sea salt have a bunch of minerals in it. Then I'm gonna add my garlic powder. You already know the garlic powder have the allicin in it that come from allinase and come from allicin. Anti-parasitic, a vasodilator, antimicrobe, immune booster. Then I'm gonna add a teaspoon of my onion powder, which does the same thing, but it does have a polyphenol called quercetin in there, which is highly antioxidative.
Yo, so have you ever seen like those ads on Instagram for mobile games?
Yeah, I've seen those Temple Run, Clash of Clans. I've seen all that.
Then I'm gonna add my garlic and sesame. Sesame is amazing. Sesame is a vasodilator as well. Sesame seeds also helps bring blood flow down to the lower extremities for men that are that
That's
suffer
actually
from erectile
comp, bro.
dysfunction.
You got your
Smoke
own app,
Paprika is just a heart
own
spice to me. It's very,
website,
very good on the
own
cardiovascular
business.
system. In a sense, it reminds me of cayenne pepper. It's not on the same level as cayenne pepper, but it reminds me of cayenne pepper.
This nigga is
And of course,
D1.
oregano.
He's official.
Oregano
This nigga is
amazing,
certified,
especially
bro.
for viruses.
Swear to
Oregano is
God.
good for bacteria. They showed us a study in the show where people use antibiotics. It was a high school student. He used antibiotic versus oregano oil on microbes and on bacteria.
I did a science fair project for my biology class. I'm a freshman in high school, and the science fair project was on the effect of essential oils, clove, bud, and oregano, and an antibiotic, amoxicillin, on the growth of bacteria. And pretty much amoxicillin, if you don't know, is an antibiotic that is commonly prescribed by doctors to kill bacterial issues such as strep throat, that kind of thing. And when I went to go tell my teacher my idea, she was very hesitant about the idea because she pretty much assumed that the amoxicillin would kill more bacteria than the essential oils would, because my own experience with the oils helped to kill my Crohn's disease. And so I told her that I think it would work better.
Bro,
so,
thinking,
so I go ahead and try it out and see how it would work. So pretty much how I did the experiment.
Thinking of all the shit I had to go through, bro. I'm knowing, like, looking back at the videos he made, bro, I'm knowing niggas was spamming the shit out this nigga, bro.
At first, I used 3 drops of each oil and then 1 little pill of amoxicillin on each plate to help kill the bacteria. And when I used 3 drops of oregano, it totally killed all of the bacteria, so there was no way for me to measure how much was actually killed. And my teacher was very surprised by that, so she had me do 1 drop of oregano, and that also killed out all of the bacteria. So she had me use a micro pipette, and that still killed more bacteria than the amoxicillin did. And when my teacher saw that, she was very shocked that a little drop of oregano could kill so much bacteria compared to a standardized pill. And I was somewhat surprised, but I kind of knew that the oregano would work better just because, like I said, my personal experience. And so I made a display board for my project and took it to the science fair, and I came in 4th place. So I'm very happy that I have personal experience and scientific proof that shows that these oils can be more effective than some prescribed medication. I'm very happy because I can take these without any side effects, and I can continue to do the things I like to do, such as play sports and hang out with my friends that are friends.
The oregano oil and the oregano leaf actually took away the microbes literally about 72 hours before the actual antibiotic. And the antibiotic didn't even get rid of all of the bacteria, but the oregano oil did. So that just shows you how nutrition and how powerful and how potent oregano oil is. Once you get all your seasonings in the pot, just start stirring. Now this is our first stage of seasoning, because I'm going to season again once I get everything into the pot with the quinoa, but we haven't even added our quinoa yet. All of these herbs and all of these nutrition and beneficial factors to the body. Let thy food be thy medicine, and our medicine be thy food. Alright, now that we got that done, now it's time to work on our pot here. Bring this to a boiling temperature.
I don't know,
To help
man.
this get to its boiling temperature, I'm going to add a little salt. We're going to do a teaspoon of salt. Alright, so now,
When you do think about it like those, though. I don't know. But I do know. But I don't know. It do hit different.
I got my onions, I got my garlic, it's all sauteed, it's all seasoned up. Now it's time to turn on the pot that we put in the quinoa in. I turned the pot on, I put it on this high setting because we need to bring the water to a boiling point. And what helps to get it to that boiling point is adding sodium, so I added some applewood roasted sea salt to it. Alright, so I got my quinoa. Now, since the water is already in there, I did 3 cups of water. And I got 2 cups of quinoa. Sometimes it's enough broth, sometimes it's not. So I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to gauge it. If there's not enough vegetable broth, I'm going to add more. Give it a little stir.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
Come the
Base
fuck
44,
on,
a
man.
complete AI.
Damn, bro. Nigga was just finna get into the gritty of this shit, man.
It then came to a boil. We're gonna let it boil for actually 2 minutes. Once you let it boil for 2 to 5 minutes, you then turn it down to its lowest setting, then you let it simmer for about 20 minutes. While it's boiling, I'm gonna add the onions and everything to the pot, and I'm gonna give it a stir. Because you don't want it to stir when it's done, because you'll make it mushy. Just give it a little stir. Nothing too crazy. I'm gonna let it boil again for about a minute, then we're gonna put our pot on. It's already back boiling. Alright, so we've been boiling for about 3 minutes. Now we're gonna turn it down to our lowest setting. Don't turn it down so low that you're not getting no action out of it. Just turn it down enough for you can see it start to simmer and not boil. So I put mine on 3. Now you get your glass top, make sure that it has a hole in it. You put it on, and you're gonna let it do what it do for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now while I was doing it, I do want to talk about all of the beneficial nutritional factors that quinoa have. Quinoa is a complete food, and what I mean by complete food, I mean that it have all 9 essential amino acids in it. The first amino acid that I want to talk about is called histidine. Histidine is a great amino acid that is a part of a protein structure, and it is literally for protein synthesis. Without histidine, it's impossible to even form what you will call amino acid complex structures, or what you will call protein. Not only that, histidine is for cellular regeneration or cellular repair, and it helps actually protects the myelin sheaths of the nerves. Not only do it help protects the myelin sheaths of the nerves, but it helps you rebuild what you will call melanin neurotransmitters. And this is actually a part of quinoa. Another one is called isoleucine. Isoleucine is good because without isoleucine, you cannot formulate what you will call hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is what bonds and docks to iron and ferritin, and this is how you move oxygen around in the body. When you look at isoleucine is to help with blood formation and to help with hemoglobin formation. Not only do isoleucine help with hemoglobin formation, but it also is a blood sugar, or what you will call a glucose regulator. It keeps you from being diabetic if you're eating right and if your environmental factors are right. Another one is leucine. Leucine does the same thing, but leucine helps, it reverse aging in the tissues when you got enough of it in the body. It gets rid of wrinkles, it repairs skin, and it binds to zinc. And we know that zinc act like the glue mechanism to all of the tissues and structures in your body. And we have to talk about lysine. Lysine is an immune booster, and it is full of lysine. It's low in L-arginine, so people that is dealing with herpes or many other viruses, and they just trying to keep their immune system stimulated, you have an essential amino acid inside of quinoa called lysine that'll help you out with that. Also, the amino acid lysine, it actually synthesizes collagen. Collagen is what you need to connect your actual tissues in your skin to your fascia. So if you're talking about fascia health, and you're talking about this great communication network between the fascia, between the neurological system, and between the skin, you will need lysine, and lysine is abundant in quinoa. Methionine. Methionine is also another abundant amino acid that's a part of the quinoa group that's inside of quinoa. Methionine is good in sulfuric compound. You see, a sulfuric compound is what actually breaks down and make glutathione. This sulfuric compound is what I was talking about before, is a chelator. It helps chelate metals out of the body. It helps get rid of parasites. It actually opens up what you would call the detoxification pathways of the body to get rid of metabolic waste and metabolic toxins when you're going through a stage of autophagy while you sleep at night. So yeah, methionine is a big deal. The next amino acid structure that I want to talk about is called phenylalanine. Phenylalanine is very good because this is your mood hormone, or should I say mood amino acid. It actually helps you create dopamine inside of the brain. Not only do it help you create dopamine, but all of your emotional chemistry, the actual precursor of all of your emotional hormones, or phenylalanine. So yes, when it talks about being a superfood, when it talks about regulating blood pressure, when it talks about building muscle tissue and fiber, we have to talk about the fiber content inside of quinoa. Quinoa have a very high fiber content, even though it's a carbohydrate-driven type of fruit.
That's even more tougher.
Slowly into the bloodstream because you have fiber then blocking it and slowing down all of the release of glucose inside the bloodstream. And we have to talk about how fiber actually is a digestive aid. It makes you go to the bathroom. It makes you go defecate. It makes you increase in your bowel movements. So if you want to regulate your bowels, and if you want to
that's actually diabolical, my God.
Quinoa. So quinoa anti-aging. Quinoa is a muscle builder. Quinoa cleanses, sweeps the gut of the GI tract. Quinoa is good, it tightens up the fascia, it makes the skin tighter. Quinoa makes you defecate, makes you go to the bathroom. Quinoa is good for the hormone and it's good for protein synthesis. Quinoa is a complete food with all the amino acids. Now let's talk about the vitamin B2 and the vitamin B3, which is the riboflavonoids and the niacin that's inside of there. That is a cellular regenerator, y'all. And then we got to talk about the magnesium. We have to talk about the manganese. We got to talk about the zinc, the copper, and the iron. That's all in quinoa. And all these minerals are very, very beneficial to the body. Without iron, you can't get oxygen and dock with hemoglobin. Without zinc, your cellular structure will literally fall apart. Without copper, you can't pour iron out of the liver due to a protein called ceruloplasma. Without magnesium actually relaxes and dilates the blood vessels. It's good for heart health. It's good to relax the muscles. It's good to relax the nerves and the myelin sheaths of the nerves. Manganese is good to actually shoot off and help fire off these nerve transmitters. So when you're talking about being a complete food, quinoa is barred to none at the top of my list. Cholesterol support. When you start looking at quinoa fiber inside of it, the insoluble fiber and the soluble fiber, it's a compound in it called inulin. And inulin actually binds to what you would call cholesterol and get it out of the body. So if you have what you would call low density lipoprotein, or what they call bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, quinoa is known for binding. Its compounds in there will bind with the cholesterol, open up the detoxification pathways, and get that bad high cholesterol out of the body. Name another food that's doing that have all these other different healer constituents and healer modalities all in one. That is why it's called a whole complete food. And that's why I eat it every single day, no matter what meal I'm eating. I make sure that quinoa is a part of my dish. And I love the potassium ratio content of quinoa. The potassium K plus change is very, very good because it helps provide what you will call electricity to the nervous system. Not only do it help provide electricity to the nervous system, but again, like magnesium, it keeps the water, potassium, and magnesium and calcium and sodium ratio balanced inside of the body. Potassium is always good for kidney function, and magnesium is always good for kidney function. Water and sodium is...
It do hit different when, think of it like this, bro. Every single goddamn mistake, bro. It could be a goddamn mini motherfucking mistake, bro. Tell you, bro.
When it's in a balance,
it's gonna hit different, bro. Whenever it's not there, it is like, damn, bro. What the fuck?
I want to start fluffing it. I can actually see the embryo ring outside of the king fruit group, or what you would call the pericarp, come out. So once that embryo comes out, that ring that we're going to see, now it's time to start fluffing it. But I like to fluff and add my seasons and add my actual coconut amines and add my citric grapefruit zest at the same time. So I'm going to take the lid off, and I'll take my fork, and I'll just go back and forth. Just fluffing it, y'all. And it's fluffing up real good. Make sure you don't scratch the bottom of your pots, y'all.
I haven't been to the grocery store in over a year, but I'm eating healthier than ever. Here's how I did it. Meal planning used to be such...
Hell no.
Alright, so me, I like to do 2 tablespoons of each. We already did teaspoons of each one.
Hey, it do hit different. Over the internet, my nigga. Oh, Sir Ski. That shit.
The garlic and the onions. So now I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of each inside of the quinoa. You can choose for your liking. But I be going hard on the seasonings, y'all. That's why my food tastes so good. And forget that oregano. And to think that they used to do this 7,000 years ago, because they used to cultivate this heavy. I always go a little extra on my onion and my garlic. A bit more of the applewood, roasted sea salt, cracked pepper, parsley for the kidneys. Let me wash the skin of this grapefruit off. If you are dealing with high blood pressure and you on high blood pressure medication, I will not use grapefruit. But if you're not on high blood pressure medication, grapefruits it is. Grapefruits is full of vitamin C. And we all know that vitamin C is highly antioxidating, and it is an immune booster. So you take your grater, you get your grapefruit, and you get the grating. You're gonna put 2 tablespoons of coconut amines, Coconut amines replaces soy. And we know about coconut. Coconut has something called sodium monolauric acid in there. Sodium monolauric is the closest to what you're going to get to what you would call the breast milk of a woman. So whenever we're talking about coconut, coconut is very, 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 very good for the immune system. The only thing that comes close to women's breast milk is what you would call coconut water, coconut milk, or the sap from coconut. And when we're talking about coconut amines, we're talking about coconut sap. So if you can look, you see how fluffy it is? It's not all panned together, it's not burnt. It's real fluffy, it got a good color on it.
Yeah.
I have my secret ingredient.
I don't even be knowing, man.
Man, palatable syrups that you can never taste in your life.
Oh.
This is grade B maple syrup. This hit, y'all. This changed the whole
That was
game with
probably
your taste.
taken all the way out of context, bro.
Citrus taste. We give it like this sour taste. We got all of the garlic and this pungent bitter taste. Plus the sappiness inside of the quinoa that makes it more bitter and sour.
Okay.
Nectar, which is coconut
I see you,
beans,
Kai.
sweeten it up, and then we top it off with maple
See you,
syrup.
Kai.
Yahki style. Refluff it. Try not to scrape the bottom of your pan, y'all. Fluffy quinoa.
It do it different, though. Damn.
Now, this is just how
Damn,
to
bruh.
make quinoa. You can add it to a salad. You can add it to a soup. This can be the side with some broccoli or something. You can do so many things with quinoa, y'all. And you heard about all of the nutritional compounds that's in it, all the amino acids. It's a complete food. They've been using it for 7,000 years. They have all the minerals inside of it. Everything you need is inside of these fruits. In Hebrew, we'll say zetayim. Let's give it a try. Zetayim. It's delicious. It's good. It's fluffy. It's soft. It's not mushy. It don't look like mashed potatoes. It don't look like grits. It don't look like oatmeal. You can see the plant embryo coming out, the little rings that surround it, meaning it was cooked just right. Amazing. You can taste the onions in it. You can taste the garlic, that pungent taste. You can taste all of the seasonings, the paprika, the apple roasted sea salt. You can taste the citrus from the actual grapefruit zest and skin. The coconut amines. You taste everything all in one bite. This is the first episode of Food for Thought with Dr. Yahki, aka Yahki Awaken, and I look forward to many more. If you like this type of content, list it below. If you have any ideas of things that you want me to cook, and you want the nutritional, the origin, and the history of it, the nutritional facts and values, let me know and we'll go in on it. Make sure it's plant-based. We don't eat meat. We don't eat dairy. We do all things plant-based. Genesis 1:29. Shalom, shalom. Food for Thought with Dr. Yahki, aka Yahki Awaken.
Need a new mattress but confused by all the choices?
Alright, y'all. Damn, what the fuck? Hold on, bro. My goddamn video camera acting up. Oh, there you go. Alright, y'all. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure, yup, it do hit different. Fuck, man! If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure y'all give me a like, comment, subscribe. Oh, if y'all enjoyed, fuck, man. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure y'all give me a like, comment, subscribe. And I'm out this motherfucker, man. Cause I know y'all hear the same shit I hear, and I be ready for Kai to go ahead, do that, bruh. We need a different language, bruh. Cause nigga, I've been speaking English my whole fucking life, bruh. Alright, I'm out, bruh. Oh yeah, you a real nigga, man. You a real nigga. You should let me get that motherfucker for the free ski though. Oh God. Cause it do hit different when the young nigga still tough. I'm trying to be one of those for the free skis. I still want those to happen. It do hit different. But yeah, I'm out this bitch, man.